right. What's up? Good morning, PT on Ice Daily Show. Dr. Jeff Moore here, currently serving as the CEO of ICE, lead faculty for cervical spine and lumbar spine management courses. Happy to see you for Leadership Thursday, coming at you from my home in Fort Collins, Colorado. Great to be here, heading out of here towards Dallas. Hey, what's up, Kelsey? Good morning. Heading towards Dallas here in a little bit. We got Manipalooza this weekend, so going with the Evidence in Motion crew. Got a ton of us going in there. Justin Dunaway from the ICE faculty is going to be there teaching as well. Really amazing cast of characters. So can't wait to get to Dallas and get after it. Pause. It's Gut Check Thursday. Before we get too far into this, I'm sure you all saw it on Instagram or Facebook, but it is Thursday, so it's Gut Check Thursday. It's going to be 5 rounds per time this week. Okay, and you're going to have a 1-minute rest in between rounds. So when you're done with your round, make sure you look up at the clock or look down at your watch, and you want to have a 1-minute rest. The rounds are going to be 7 burpee box jumps to a 20-inch box, and then 14 alternating hang dumbbell snatches. Those are hang snatches. You don't have to bring the weights all the way down to the ground, just 14 alternating hang dumbbell snatches, 50 pounds for the gents, 35 for the gals. And that's going to be our Gut Check Thursday. That should be really nice. So kind of going hard for a short period of time, get that heart rate way up, and then have a minute rest in between rounds. So as always, hashtag Ice Train, tag Ice Physio, win that shirt, and let's all suffer a little bit together. I might try and do this with the crew at Manipalooza. The dumbbells are going to be an issue, but we'll try to think about that a little bit. Other courses coming up this weekend, the CMFA division is going to be in Victor, New York, in upstate New York. I know we have a pretty full house, so we're pumped about that one. And then next weekend, Justin Dunaway will be teaching total spine thrust over in Connecticut. In the following weekend, Jordan Berry is going to be teaching lumbar spine. It's the first weekend of December in Florence, South Carolina. So a whole bunch of courses kind of coming up as we're powering towards the end of the year and towards the holiday season. So a lot of good stuff. All right, so on Leadership Thursday today, I'm really kind of answering a question, I guess. It's almost a Q&A Monday sort of a thing, but it also reflects, I think, some deeper principles of the company that are relevant for us and hopefully for all of you who are developing product and getting it out there to the masses. And that is this question of, why don't we give discounts? And the immediate answer is, well, we do. We have a student discount, right? It's the only discount that we have. So we give students, doctorate students of physio, $100 off to any course they want to go to, online or live. So we do offer that one. But the question often is, why do you only give that discount? Like, why do you only have a discount for students? I think to take on this question, we have to first all agree that money matters, right? Like money matters. I mean, not having enough of it is a really significant stressor, right? It causes all sorts of relationship stresses. We're seeing right now with students, it's causing a massive amount of stress in really changing a lot of the career decisions they're making. Will Boyd and I from the Nobody's podcast, we're going to hop on a podcast here in a couple of weeks and really chat a lot of this out. You know, Will and I have some differing opinions, but more similar opinions on the importance of, he's been collecting some great data looking at how stressed out students are about the financial implications of becoming a physio, and what is the best way to combat that, and how do we help those individuals have a successful early phase of their career so they can wind up really fulfilling their purpose. It's a massively important question, and I don't think, as usual, you can take either side in isolation. We need to look at the best overall combined approach. So the bottom line is, it's a huge stressor. Alternatively, having sufficient amounts of cash allows you to scale things that you believe are important and are fulfilling your purpose, right? It's really hard to donate to a cause, be that actual direct money, or donate your time, which one could say is money. It's hard to donate and get behind something if you don't have any resources. So when you do have sufficient cash, right, you're able to put resources behind things that you really believe matter and amplify those things. And that might increase your sense of purpose, which can be a huge deal. Now, I don't think making a ton of money has ever helped anybody, but having a sufficient amount to be able to do things that you believe matters and have the bandwidth to do it is probably relevant in all of our lives. Bottom line is, funsies is just different than playing for keeps. I think we felt that since we were playing marbles when we were 12, 13 years old. Now that I say that out loud, there's probably only about 5% of people on the show who are listening who are old enough to have actually played marbles during recess. But remember when you would go with funsies, it was never the same because you knew that when you were done, right, everyone was going to take the same marbles they came with and went home. But you knew when that thing went in the pot, if that person was scooping out all those marbles and those were now theirs, it was a different level of seriousness. And that's what money can do. I think in a good way is it can just make things more serious. It raises the stakes, right? I love that. I love anything that raises the stakes, that demands a little bit more performance out of you, whether it's keeping score, whether it's competing with your buddies. Anytime you add an element that makes things a little more serious, I tend to get behind that because I want to put out the sharpest product possible. Now, somebody could say, well, you should be able to do that just no matter what. Like, there shouldn't have to be money on the line, right? Of course, there doesn't have to be. But every variable that you can add that tends to increase the level that everybody's operating at, to me, can be a positive thing if wielded appropriately. I mean, because on that line, and because of that, like when we do our live courses prior of the course and kind of the pre-course preparation, I often imagine to myself that somebody is coming to that course that really didn't have the cash to get there, right? Or it was darn close. Like, it was a really big investment for them. Maybe their Condon funds were limited that year for whatever reason. It was a big deal financially for them to carve out that cash, to make that trip, to spend that weekend. Like, I always picture that person is there because, again, it raises the bar. Everything we say and do has to be applicable. Right? Everything we do has got to return ROI to that person. We can't waste any time. We owe it to them. They deserve that. They went out on a limb, they made a big investment, and now we have to deliver. So having that thought in my mind really helps me sharpen that product's razor edge. Right? Additionally, it's not just about the content when you start thinking about it like that. Like, when somebody makes a big investment, it's bigger than just getting content or information. They're there for an experience, right? They want to come away a little bit different. And by different, I mean better, right? They want to share an experience that inspires them a bit and moves them a bit and allows them to bring that energy back to their relationships and back to their community. And so the point is, when you think about that someone's making a huge investment to be a part of something you're doing, it makes you just give that little bit more that I think sometimes is a key factor in making an experience special. And it's not just on our side, it's on their side as well, right? It's on the person who's paying. Because the more you're paying, the more you're investing, the bigger the deal that is, your game is going to elevate. Because everything you hear, and you want to hear all the things, and everything you hear needs to be usable, right? It's the classic quote, man, I paid a lot for this. Like, I paid a lot for this. I've got to make sure to get a lot out of this. When the individual has that mindset of, I need to get every drop out of this, right? Their overall value, their overall engagement elevates. You can't deny that, right? So when somebody has that mental aspect driving their behaviors, they wind up getting more out of it. Very similar to us, not just the content. They get more out of the whole experience, right? That's the person who goes to the social afterwards. It's the person who works out with the group because, again, they invested, they intend to get everything they can out of it. So on both sides of the coin, it simply raises the game for all of us to have X amount of money in the pot, right? I'll say one more thing about, like, sales or doing things for free or giveaways. Like, I just wasn't raised that way. And so, at least from my perspective, and early on, we kind of set this precedent. Like, I don't know how you all were brought up, but like, my dad would never let us not pay, no matter how small the investment. Right? And even if someone was trying to be really nice, and giving us a candy bar or doing something like that, my dad was really adamant that you never don't pay, because his belief was that everybody works hard for their money, right? And if you worked hard for your money, you took time away from your family, you put in legitimate hard work to earn the money, then your money has the value. It carries that with it, right? And if it has that value, you're acknowledging that same hard work and value in somebody else. Right? So you never took something from them. You always paid them, because that was that acknowledgement of, look, I worked hard for this. I know you worked hard for what you just delivered. And then you share and have that respectful transaction. I think taking away someone's ability to pay you is to take away their opportunity to show you that respect. Like, I don't know about you all, I love nothing more than paying for a great product or service, right? In fact, you look forward to giving a big tip. Like someone puts on a great performance or someone just delivers an exceptional service. You not only want to pay what they're asking, you want to pay more, right? Because that is, again, that show of value and that show of respect that you can't wait to offer. And I think to diminish that or to demean that or to reduce that is to cheapen the process just a bit. So these are all reasons why our prices don't fluctuate. But there's also some bigger principles from a business perspective. Like, we really think at ICE that it's our job to do the market research, to figure out what we're offering, and then to set a fair price that we all agree on inside of those market dynamics. We can reevaluate that once a year, right? But once decided upon, we are then going to hold the line. Like, with calm heads, we have evaluated the market. We believe that what we're offering is worth X, what we put into it, what we believe others are getting out of it. And then you set that fair price and you hold the line, right? Most people are going to try to race to the bottom. You are going to try to capitalize off of sales and off of market dynamics. And that's all fine and dandy. I realize that's a part of business. But we would argue that it's best to spend zero time and effort doing any of that. And instead, just focus on maximally delivering on our end of the fair transaction and bargain that was set up, right? Our end of the fair deal. Just be ruthless and spend every cent of our time and money on delivering on our side of that transaction, as opposed to spending that time worrying about how to mess around with the perceived value of that transaction to make more people purchase it. Why don't we just make that transaction better by delivering on our side of it every time? So by holding that line, and we're not wasting any time and resources trying to dabble with it and then reassess how folks responded. All of that is time and effort that can be put in to simply making a better product. Finally, it's easier on the consumer. So speaking from a business perspective, for those of you who are out, selling things and trying to be in the marketplace, I think it's easier on the consumer. Now, they might not realize it, and they might not think, off the top that makes any sense. But you know what our price is going to be any day and every day, right? So whenever you're ready, whenever for whatever reason you believe that our product is worth what we're charging, you know that we're going to be standing by ready to deliver. But what you don't ever need to do is be checking to see whether or not it's on sale, because it's not, because it never is, and it's never going to be. So you know what it is. You don't need to waste your time and resources trying to wonder, like, I wonder if this time of the year that ICE course is going to be a little bit cheaper. It's not. It's going to be the exact same price that it was, because what we're offering in it and the value of it is the exact same that it was. So we're not going to move it around. You don't need to worry about moving it around. We know what the deal is. How about we all just show up hungry and deliver? And I think in so many ways that really simplifies the process for all parties, which allows overall better products and better engagement to exist. Okay, so all that said, those are some of our feelings on why our price never moves outside of annually if the market has significant changes. But why students then? And that answer is simple. We simply believe that they are in a tougher spot financially, that an adjustment needs to be made to have the same level of fairness when someone's currently in school and paying tuition. So we believe that we're always trying to look at what is the fair deal, evaluate that, get hungry on both sides, but make sure it's a win-win. And we believe that where students are currently at, right, in the stressors they have financially, that taking $100 off of every class is the least that we can do for them to kind of match back up on that return on investment being relatively equal. So that's why we give a discount to students, but all of the other reasons are why you never see our price change during the year under any other circumstances. Those are all things that, I mean, at least for me, are deeply important, that I believe results in a really sharp product, a really engaged consumer, no wasted time or effort on either side. On our side, trying to mess around with the price, on your side, trying to track the price, but instead coming to the table and saying, we believe that this is a fair deal, and we want to spend all of our time on making sure that we deliver on the part of the deal that is ours. And we hope that you're here to deliver on the part that is yours, because we want this to be special. That is best done with a minimal of distractions, and that is best done by consistency. Okay, we'd love to hear some thoughts. You know what? One thought I'm probably going to get from students is, how do I get the discount? All you have to do is email info@ice.physio and just send us proof of your student status. So like your student schedule, any other proof that you're comfortable sending, and then we send you a promo code that you can sign up for that course. So students anywhere and everywhere, you're welcome to take advantage of that. Anybody else, I'd love to hear some thoughts. For the many of you that we will see at Manippalooza, can't wait. So I'll be in Dallas this evening. I'm sure we'll be out in communing and socializing. Tim Flynn, Maggie Henjum, and I teach tomorrow, and then I get to TA all weekend. But a lot of great dry needling stuff. I know Ado's going to be there, Mark Shepard and Justin. Adrian's going to be there. John Siebert, can't wait to see you and Roxanne. It's going to be a heck of a weekend. So I'll see you all in Dallas. Let me know what you think about the pricing stuff. I know it's always a sensitive topic, but we've got to make decisions and we've got to hold lines, and those are some of ours. So I hope there was some value there. Take care, everybody.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.